Hey everyone, messing around with verify snapshot testing in, but this time I wanted to try out Scotplot. So Scotplot is a very, very simple and easy to use thing that can produce PNGs of a range of data plotted as a chart, and it can do basically any chart you've ever heard of. So I thought this would be cool. What if we could kind of work this into snapshot testing because it can output PNGs, and I've done it. So here are the resultant tests that we have. And what we can see here is that each test basically makes a scatter plot and then puts that scatter plot through verify. What does verify do? Verify just takes those Scott plots and converts them into an image. So it just takes the plot and converts it into an image. It does that using bytes, so there's no like file saving until we get to the end of the flow. So if we go back to our test, you see that we've ran them again, and our basic plot outputs this chart here. We've got this one here, which is sine, but more on that one in a moment. This one I don't remember. And then here I'm playing around with settings because I wanted to enable you to kind of tweak things a little bit. So here's with the settings. So let's see what we could do with it here. So in this particular one, I've got an enumerable stuff test. This particular test just takes a range, which is a double range of 0 to 1 in an increment of 0.01. So it's basically taking 0 and adding 0.01 to it until we get to 1. And it is running that through my quickplot.scatter function, which basically takes this enumerable and applies the second argument, which is a function, to it and zips those results together into a plot. So x is the enumerable value, and y is the value of sine. So you can see here that we've got math.sine, and let's say, for example, we were working on this particular file, and instead of having sine here, we made a bug, and we were just like, hey, whoops, we mixed up cos and sine. Of course, in like an actual production area, this might be something different, more complicated, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But now I can rerun this test, and you'll see like, hey, the graph changed, bro. Like on the left here, we've got a graph that goes from right to left, increasing. And on the right, we've got a graph that goes from left to right, increasing. I don't know which way I said those. Math isn't my strong point, but this is one of the reasons why I'm making this, right? I'm still playing around with the settings here, because what we want is like a good degree of settings that allows you to visually compare the data series, but also one that is like quick and easy to use here. If you actually wanted to figure out the bug here, you might actually have to go into tests which have numbers in them. But I just thought this was a lot better than, in some cases, having to just like traipse through a table of data in a test report file. Instead, you can just say like, hey, show me what this looks like and plot it on a graph and I'll double check. So in this case, what we can do to fix this bug is we can close out our diff. We can go back to our code. We can comment out cos, redo sine, and then rerun the test. And provided the laws of mathematics have not changed, our test then validates, and that's because it generated this sine chart. So I'm still playing around with this. It probably will be up on GitHub today, but it's not going to be on NuGet for probably like a week. I've got to understand it, play around with it a lot, see what's going on. Because I don't constrain like any of the plotting. You can go like any plot you see on scotplot.net's website. You could verify this way. I will see you soon. Bye bye.